Okay, good morning all. Here we are again. It's Thursday morning, 2nd of April in the lockdown year. So this morning we're going to be doing a little bit of standing, and you can use a suitable sturdy armchair or sofa to help you, or you can have a little stool. Stools are good because you've got, especially if you've got different levels, so you can use your hand to support you on any of these levels. Or if you're super flexible, you might find just a couple of blocks would be enough. Or even some of you will be able to get to the floor. But those of my students know that we don't rush to the floor if it means that we have to compromise the alignment in our spine. So let's start off, shall we, by standing. Let's practice that again, shall we? So if we go down to sitting again, so let's see if we can do this. So we cross our legs, and I know not every one of you can do it, but you can just try. And then you're pushing both feet into the floor. You're going to take a breath in, and then as you exhale, you sort of bring your weight slightly forward. You can just lift up nice and, lovely, that's better. Good. Okay. So I'll just make this a little bit wider so you can see. Right, so from here, we're standing with the feet hip distance. Let's just inhale. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and exhale. And again. And down, inhale up, exhale down. So just moving a little bit, swaying a little bit, so you're beginning to feel your feet making the connection with the ground. And let the breath into the body and exhale out. Lovely. Now from there, we're going to let the knees soften and start to make little circles with the shoulders involving the whole body. So we're bending the knees as well. Lovely, and we're changing direction. Lovely, and release. Okay, now from there, take your feet a little bit wider. Take the arms to the side. Soften your knees again, and we're going to inhale. Reach up tall as we can. Big breath, and exhale down. And again, inhale. Reach up tall as we can. As you stretch to the ceiling, feel how your feet are really connecting down through the mat, through the ground. Inhale up. And down. Great, so we're going to change that direction. Inhale up, crossing the other way around your body. Nice. Great. Now feet a little bit wider. Let's just bring one arm up, stretching down one side, sliding the hand down the other side. And change. Yeah, that's better. First side again. That's it, Richard. Lovely. Reaching up to the ceiling. Sliding down. Feel that stretch. Yeah, don't bend your elbow. Just into. Yep. Change side. So really stretching that first arm up as we slide to the other side. Lovely. Is that even number? Yes. Okay. And then we're going to go even wider. Bend the knees and elbows on the knees. Let your bottom go up in the air. We're going to straighten the left leg and bring the weight over the right knee. You can have the elbow on the knee and the left arm joining it. Or if you're more flexible, you can just let your head hang down. Nice, and then we're going to switch sides. So if you're using elbows, just swap your elbow to the other side. And the important thing is to have the opposite leg, in this case the right leg, straight. So you're feeling that stretch through the inner thigh. Those of you that are quite flexible and want to just hang, can let the body hang. And then swap back to the first side, either walking your hands along the floor or just swap your elbows from one knee to the other. And then swapping to the first side, elbow on the knee, or if you can just hang, let your head hang. And then bringing your hands back to the center, you can bring both elbows to the knees, bend the knees, now take the hands on the knees, and we're going to push through the hands to come up, feet together. Great. Richard, you could put something underneath the back of your device to get the angle coming up a little bit so I can see you better. Okay guys, so now we're going to face down towards our armchair that we've got ready prepared, and we're taking a step forward with the right foot, hinging from the top of the right leg. We're taking our hand down to wherever we can comfortably reach. So what we're looking for in this Trikonasana or side stretch is bending from the top of the leg, in this case the right leg. And notice that I'm not doing this, so I'm not over rounding the top waist, and I'm not shortening the bottom waist, rather lengthening out. So both sides are equal. That's lovely, Jacinta. And then if you can go lower, you can begin to slide down. So we're opening the shoulder, that left shoulder's going back, and then you're just going to float your arm so it's just above your shoulder. So we're not throwing the arm back, we're just letting it sit above the shoulder. If you can go wider, you can. And we're just going to hold that for a few breaths here. Keep lengthening out of the right leg. Your right hip, I mean. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Let's hold for 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Lovely. And release. So we're going to rotate now and turn your back foot and just walk your foot. I've got too much belts in the way here. So walk your this back foot in a little bit, so you haven't got such a wide stance. Now we're going to straighten both legs and take the right hip back. Keep your left hand on the chair, and now we're rotating to the back of the room. So this is now reverse Trikonasana. That's it. Lovely. So give yourself the height you need, opening the chest, stretching that back heel into the floor, breathing. Let's hold for 3 more breaths. Breathing, shoulders away from the ears. and release. Lovely. And then come back to your chair. Now maintain the same position because we're going to now take it into our half moon. So we're going back into our Trikonasana, but just let your arm drop. So you're facing forward. We're going to bend that front leg and just start to transfer your weight. So it's coming over the front leg. And then you're going to bring that leg up and then lift the arm. So you can put your hand onto the wall or onto your chair. Lovely. See if we can hold for 2 more breaths. Now to come down, we're going to bend that front knee, place the foot on the floor and come up into standing. Lovely. It's quite a little bit of a challenge for the hips first thing in the morning, especially for us old things. Okay, so let's just, before we do the other side, we'll just do a little bit of mountain pose, standing. So if we just check our feet are hip distance, if you find it easy to have your feet together, you can do that, but it works well with the feet slightly apart. Pressing the feet into the floor. You can let the sternum move towards the ceiling slightly. Our rib cage softening down, shoulders rolling back and down. Now we're going to project our fingers towards the floor and let the crown of the head, send the crown of the head up to the ceiling. Beautiful, breathing. Let's do 5 breaths like that. Lovely, and release. So that one is called mountain pose, and you can feel as you stand there, you can get that sense of really grounding, which is just what we need at this time. Okay, let's go to the other side now. So if you were using a little stool, you want to swap sides or blocks, and then we're facing down towards our chair or whatever we're using. And then this time we're bringing the left foot forward, right foot back. And then we're going to hinge from the top of the left leg this time. Stretching down. Breathing. Breathing. Both sides of the waist are long. Working into the back foot as well as the front foot, especially the ball of the foot. Two more breaths, really long, lengthening out from that left hip. Lovely, and release. Great, so now we're going to just shorten the stance that you had. And then bringing the right hand now onto the chair. We're rotating to the left. So it's a reverse triangle. So we don't need to, there's no need to, I know the full pose, you're on the floor, but we're wanting to make sure we've got space for our spine to get our rotation. And also really feel that we can stretch through that back leg. So give yourself the height that you need in order to really work right through the spine. Feel that it's like a spiral. Beginning, the rotation starts in the lower spine and it starts to go up into the upper back. Just into, I think you're doing an ordinary Trikonasana. You need to rotate the other way. Oh no, you're not. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Beautiful. It's hard to tell on screen. Keep feeling that rotation. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Lovely. And then release. Okay. And then we're going to take that into a half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. So standing, keeping our front leg, that's our left leg. We're going to bend the knee of that left leg, transfer our weight, bringing the right leg up in the air. Just use any chairs that you need to support you in that. Floating the leg up high as you can. Breathing. Notice how you're drawing your lower abdomen in towards your spine. Lovely. And then to come down, we're going to bend that front knee, placing our foot on the floor. And then inhale to come up. Great. Okay, and then just ease out gently. Great. So we're going to do a little Uttanasana now, forward, relaxed forward bend. So yeah, I know that the full pose is, you know, hinging forward with your hands down, but we don't have to do that. We can use our chairs, be gentle on our back, feet hip distance, and we're going to just find something to land on. That means that we can keep our spine articulating. So we don't want to get a feeling where we're rounding the back. We want to keep a feeling of, from the sit bones, you're just lengthening out each vertebrae, and the crown of the head lengthens forward. And then just find somewhere where you can rest your head, rest your forehead, if you've got something the right height. Nice. And then we're just going to hold that for a few breaths. Softening the breath. Sliding the forehead forward. Nice. And then to come up, we're going to slide the hands forward, lengthen through the spine, bring the sternum forward. Come up with a nice long back. Good. And release. Great. Now let's just try a little tree pose, shall we? So if we need to, we can use the wall to balance on. So you can have the wall behind you so that when you roll your shoulders back and down, you can just touch the wall with your fingertips. Alternatively, you can rotate so that the wall's just at your right side if we're going to lift up with the left foot. But just watch that if you are using the wall that you're near enough, so you don't want to be having to lean into the wall. So you want to have the wall close enough that when you touch it, your body can be in a straight line. Okay, so whatever you're using, bringing the left foot up. If you've got fingertips lightly touching, rolling the shoulders back and down. And then if you can, let go with your hands, turn your palms. And if you can bring the arms up. So if you find yourself falling, you can just put one hand to the wall and the other arm up. Shoulders rolling back and down. Breathing. Yeah, sometimes your trouser is a bit slippy, so does work better on bare skin. Try and have your toes pointing down towards the floor. Lovely. See if you can hold for 2 more breaths. Heel to thigh, thigh to heel, shoulders down. Both arms straight. And release. Lovely. Yeah, it can be a problem that when you put your heel up, if you've got slippy trousers, then you can't get a grip. So there's a few alternatives. If you can roll your trouser up, you can do that. Or alternatively, if you've got one of those, I don't have one just now, but if you've got one of those stretchy belts like that are made of rubber, you can tie that around your thigh, and then when you put your heel there, the belt stops you from slipping. So that's a couple of tips that we found work well in class. So then we're coming up to the other side, pushing heel to thigh and thigh to heel, and as you do that, you get that lift up through the pelvic basin. Yeah, you don't need, also don't go so high. If you take your heel too high, then it's not going to work. So you may need to start off with your heel at this height. So it's just finding the right level for you. And then we're sending the hands out, turn the palms, see if we can have straight elbows. So you might be making a bit of a Y shape, but if you can, you start to bring the inner arms towards each other. Shoulders dropping down. Lovely. And we're breathing. So think about pushing heel to thigh, thigh to heel. Let's see if we can hold for 1 more breath. Lovely. And release. Great, okay, well done. So from there, we're going to head down to the floor. So if you want to get some cushion or pillow to sit on, then that's great. I'll just change the screen a little. Okay, so let's start off with our legs out in front of us. So as I've explained, the thing about sitting on the floor is if you're not used to sitting on the floor, what happens is initially when you sit down, that you'll find that your back is shaped something like that. And in order to get straight, it costs you quite a lot of effort. So these erecti spina muscles start to go into a spasm. And also you might find that you can't really sit like that with your legs straight, because obviously you're going to be finding an extra stretch through the hamstring. So it's fine to have your knees bent, your feet on the floor, if that helps you to get your lift. And also just to get something underneath you as high as you need, which just gives you a little bit of help. Now, you know, I'm sure you've got lots of pillows in your house, so just get as much height, because you want to feel comfortable in the spine in this position. Okay, now we're going to take our belt around our feet and sit up tall as we can. So I think I'll do the side views again so you can see. So again, if you find it, in order to get a straight spine, you may need to be leaning back. That's absolutely fine, because we're looking for a straight spine. Sit bones descending, shoulders rolling back and down, and then sternum is not collapsing. Notice if you can get a feeling of drawing in that lower abdomen in towards the spine. Breathing. Breathing. Now, some of you can work your hands forward a little bit. That's happening. And repeat the same thing, but with a tighter rein, your belt on a tighter rein. Now, if you walk your hands forward and then you start to feel, oh, then you're not ready for that yet. So just let your body go to the position where you can really enjoy to open your spine, bring the sit bones down, feeling the chest opening. Breathing. Let's hold for 4 more breaths. Lovely. And then we'll just ease off from that and we'll just cross our legs. Getting the height we need. Okay, so we're going to take our belt. So I'm doing the mirror image of you, so I'm bringing up my right hand and dropping it down the back. Reaching up to catch with the left hand and then adjusting your trunk so that your trunk's straight. So just, you don't want to be doing weird things with the trunk. So keep the shoulders over the hips. Shoulders down away from the ears, elbow pointing up to the ceiling. Breathing. 4 breaths. Lovely, and then ease out. Just ease any discomfort. And again, just don't, you know, first of all, it's the morning. Second, we're not really walking around as much as we normally do. Our bodies are having to work a little bit harder to be looser. So just give yourself the extra rope, cut yourself the slack so that when you do these poses, you can get a nice feeling of rather than Okay, so we're looking for the factor. So let's take that left arm up, drop the arm, and just reach to catch. And you may well not be at your max, what you normally can achieve, but that's absolutely fine. Just be where you are in this moment. Check that you're allowing the back waist to go back, so we're not pushing the ribs forward. Shoulders dropping down. And see if we can get this elbow, the top elbow, to point up to the ceiling. Breathing. And release. And just ease out the arms, any stiffness that you might feel. Now we're going to just do a little forward movement. So for some of you, you may find there's not really much forward movement happening, so just get any kind of feeling you can. I know there's some of you that are super flexible and can just flop forward. So if you've got your little chair, that's quite, if I show you sideways, you can use your chair to lean forward and have something to support you. Now, if you find as you're doing this cross-legged that one of your knees is complaining or whatever, you can just straighten one leg or, you know, change the position of your legs to what suits you. Just get a feeling of a relaxed forward bend. If you are well down, you can find some cushion or something You can let your forehead go onto the floor. And we're going to hold this for about 10 breaths. So just taking your time, softening into that relaxation, to that forward bend. Just think about your fingers for a moment, your hands, and see if you can get a feeling of just loosening and softening through your hands. And then we're going to inhale and coming up from that. So let's just give the legs a little stretch. Some people might feel the need for that. Great. So both feet out. We're going to bend the right knee. So we're going to do our twist. So have the feet as wide as you need, and there's no need to bring that heel all the way up. Just give yourself the space that you need. First of all, we're going to just hold that knee and get as much height as we can. Then, using your left hand around your right knee, just lift and begin to slide your tummy. So you're beginning to bring from the left hip round to the right hip. You're sliding your abdomen over to the right. Now this straight leg, the left foot, can we point it up to the ceiling, toes up to the ceiling? Sliding the heel away. Very nice. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. And release, coming back to both legs straight. So now we're bringing our left foot up. Again, create some space and space between the heel and the bottom as well. Check this knees pointing to the ceiling, and we'll first of all get a lift up. We're going to do it again on the other side where we'll tighten it up, but let's keep it nice and loose. Give ourselves loads of space. Get that lift and begin to slide that right hip bone towards the left. So you feel the skin on the abdomen is moving round to the left, and then we get that lift up and turn. Just check your right foot. You want your toes pointing up to the ceiling, stretching through the heel. Now watch that knee isn't sloping off to the left. Keep it pointing right up to the ceiling. Get as much height and lift as you can. Breathing. Looking over that left shoulder. And release. When I rotate to the left, I can see the buds coming out of the tree outside my window, which has been very wintry, but suddenly now signs of spring, so at least the spring's not shutting down. Yeah, okay, so we're going to do that again. Now, if you found that, you felt quite challenged, then just keep your feet in the same position. If you find it actually quite hard to get round, then even give yourself more room, so you can slide your heel further away. You can take it out slightly further, so that and you might want to lean back a little bit. I'll show you. If I show this sideways, for some people it works better if you just lean back a little bit, and then you can get the spine working in a straight line. So what we don't want to do is have the back all crunched up. So we want to have a nice long spine. And then if you find that works easily for you, you can start to tighten up the position so that you're giving yourself more to work with. You can bring your heel right up, and you can begin to take your elbow to the other side of your knee, those of you that want more a challenge. And we're breathing. Lovely, and release. Okay, let's try that to the other side again. So we're going to bring the left foot up, and again, just have it where you need, so don't be in a great rush to have it all the way up. So if we start off a little bit further out, catch the knee and just get our lift first, and then we begin to turn. If that's okay for you, you can tighten things up. Now you want to keep that knee pointing up to the ceiling, whatever you're doing. So watch the knee. If the knee's going wide out to the side, you need to have your foot out further. Some of you can then work the elbow down to the outside edge of the knee and pushing the elbow against the knee to get your lift and turn. Great, and release. Lovely. Okay, so just one more sitting before we go to lie down. And we're going to do our Konasana, which is the soles of the feet together. And I want to introduce this to you. It's called a Wobble Cushion. I don't know if any of you have met it. It's quite good because what happens is when you sit on it, because it's always wobbling, when you're doing Konasana, in order to keep your position, you're having to make little minute adjustments, which is forcing you to, I don't like the word forcing, which encourages you to use your pelvic floor. So this is a great little tool, especially for those of you who feel that your pelvic floor could be stronger and you maybe find it difficult to access your pelvic floor or to work it. This little Wobble Cushion, which I'm sure you can get online, but is a great little tool. So whatever we're sitting on, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Now if your knees are way up here, that's okay, but if you find it uncomfortable, you can just prop some blocks to give you a little bit of support, blocks or cushions, so that you don't feel uncomfortable in that position. Let's start off with fingertips on the floor. So even if you don't have a wobble cushion, you want to get that feeling of you're descending your sit bones down into your, yeah, I would sit a little bit higher, Hazel, yeah, you're about to. Richard, I can't see you, but I can see your wall. Yeah, if you put something behind, oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, now I can see you. Aye, the joys of Zoom. Yeah, okay, so we've got our soles of the feet together. Now, if that's a bit awkward, you can have your feet further away, and as I say, you can support. You look like you're in a gym, Richard. Rolling our shoulders back and down, fingertips on the floor. Feel these sit bones descending, and see if you can get that feeling of drawing your pelvic basin up into the lower back, into the lower spine. Shoulders rolling back and down. And then if we can, we're going to catch the hands behind the back and then just push the hands away, keep them low. Feel that squeeze through the shoulder blade. Breathing. Breathing. Lovely, and release. Clasp the hands together. Now this is, you may need a belt for this if you're feeling a bit stiff in the shoulders. You can do this. We're going to take the arms over the head, so you can use your belt, and just if you make a loop of your belt that's about shoulder width or wider, pushing against your belt, dropping the shoulders down. Now, if you're pretty flexible in the shoulders, you can clasp your hands together, turn your palms, and then just stretch them. That is actually quite a strong position, so do use your belt if it works better for you. Trish, straighten your arms, straighten your elbow. Maybe drop your arms a little bit in front of your face and have your belt around your wrist yet, and really push into your belt. Dropping the shoulders. 2 more breaths. And release. Okay. Now, make any adjustment. If you were using your belt and you find, oh, I could do with having it a little bit looser, then you can obviously loosen off, or you might want to have it tighter. So if you do that, because we're going to do that a second time, either using our belt or clasping our hands, changing the clasp so the other little finger is underneath, pushing the hands away, stretching up, palms to the ceiling, shoulders dropping down away from the ears. And then if you can, you're working your little fingers behind you, keep the head upright. Drop your shoulders, straighten the elbow. There's always one elbow that doesn't want to stretch as much, so usually you can't notice it unless you look in a mirror. It's hard to feel these things. Drop your shoulders. Taking the elbows back, 2 more breaths. Drop the shoulders, really feeling that in the upper back. And release. Wow, good. Okay, do you want to do a little forward? If you want to go forward, I know some of you like that, but you can just have the hands on the floor. See if there's any forward movement there. Or you can just use your chair and hinge forward a little bit onto your chair, so that you really feel that in the groin area. And you can change your leg obviously at this point if you prefer to have straight legs. allowing the knees to drop. Breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose. Okay, and then to come up, we're lengthening the crown of the head, lengthening the sternum, and then just gently straightening out the legs. Give them a little shuggle. And we're going to now head down to the mat. So if you like to have something under your head, if you have that ready, and then we're going to lie in a straight line, knees bent, and then we're taking the right ankle in front of the left knee, and then going to reach to catch the thigh or the shin. You may find that putting a belt around your shin works better. Tuck your shoulders under. You want to keep your shoulders in line with your hips. Feeling that stretch through in the right glute. Nice long neck. Breathing into that. Softening the breath. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Okay, now releasing the arms, but keep the legs as they are. We're going to let the legs fall to the left, and this is where you want to have your cushions or whatever. You can land on something, and we're rotating to the right. So the right shoulder stays on the floor. Just allow the knees to flop. You can adjust the height of the knees to suit your body. So we're looking for a nice relaxation. We don't want to be stressing the body. That's it. Noticing how the breath fills the belly on that inhalation. Lovely. So we're going to inhale now. Bring that both feet back. So we'll do those two actions on the other side. So we're bringing our left ankle now in front of our right knee, and we're bringing catching around the shin. So that that left hand goes in between the gap between the legs, and you catch the shin, or the thigh or the shin. If you like, you can use your belt if that works better for you. And we're holding on to the right knee, bringing it towards the chest. So this time you're feeling the stretch in that left glute. So we're holding that stretch, softening, breathing. Nice deep breath, feeling the breath filling the belly on that inhalation. Lovely. And then keep your legs where they are, but just let your hands come away from the leg. Take your belt away, and then we're going to just bring our knees over now to the right hand side. So you want to have something to land on, your cushion, or you may need a couple of cushions. So we're just letting our knees now go over to the other side. But meanwhile, our left shoulder stays down on the floor. So we're doing a little like wringing the spine, a little twist in the spine. Let that breath come into the belly, breathing in, feeling the belly swell on the inhalation and sink on the exhalation. Okay, and then taking a deep breath, just come up to sitting. And now we're going to prepare for our relaxation. So if you want to put socks on or a jumper. So we're taking our cushions or our roll, popping them under the knees. And this helps our lower back to get a nice relaxing stretch. You can use your feet together in a Baddha Konasana position if you like. Tucking the shoulders under. You can take the arms out to the side. So if you roll your shoulders back and down, you find that your palms face up to the ceiling, and then just letting the fingers curl. Finding the right position for yourself. So making any other little adjustments that you need before letting your body just sink down onto the mat. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Allowing the belly to swell as you breathe in and sink on the exhalation. Lovely. And then, without disturbing yourself too much, just push away anything that you were using under your legs so that you can straighten your legs and then stretch through the arms. Have a wee stretch, and then when you're ready you can just roll over to one side and just let yourself be on one side for a moment or two, noticing how your body's feeling. And then from there, when you're ready, just pushing up so that we can finish together in a sitting position. Getting a lovely straight spine. Thank you all very much.